What's going on, Team Nephilim? We are back with another video. Today is a new segment called Pitch or Pick, where I give you the characters, I give you the abilities, and we compare the games to their predecessors. So without further ado, we're going to be taking a look at Madara Uchiha and Obito Uchiha. Let's start the vid. Alright, Team Nephilim, welcome back. Let's take a look at Madara Uchiha and his first move, Majestic Destroyer Flame. Now, as you can tell here, it is a big cluster ball of fire. It's a lot different from what it used to look like in Storm 4, as we'll take a look at that a little bit later. But take a look here again. It does a significant amount of damage, not too great, but definitely when you get up to the higher levels of the quest missions, it definitely does seem to do less damage and things like that. Let's switch over to Storm 4 with Majestic Destroyer Flame. Now take a look as I do this. You can definitely see it's much more wider as far as area is concerned when Madara does it in Storm 4. Again, take a look here, jump to the side, boom. Right there, definitely does more area effect damage right there. It spreads out a lot more. As far as Shinobi Striker, it was more of a cluster. I definitely would say that this right here is a better version of Majestic Destroyer Flame. Shinobi Striker, good try on it. Let's move on to the second jutsu that Madara Uchiha actually has, which is the Hiding in Ash jutsu. Now, me typically, I don't really like this jutsu, but it definitely is good as far as fast traversal and movement is concerned. Now, if you definitely look here, I am jumping out of this jutsu. I'm deactivating it early, because if you don't, if you take a look here, you will definitely get hit no matter what, because it's like almost like a withdrawal effect where it's like, oh, I use this jutsu, see? And boom, got hit immediately. And look here, no Hiding in Ash jutsu. That's pretty whack. Anyway, let's move on to that Shinobi Striker when we do Madara Uchiha's Heaven Concealed. This is the ultimate that you see in the bottom left-hand corner that I'll be performing here. Very great visually right here. What this move does is it picks up any enemy in the area, clumps them into a big rock pit or rock ball, and slams them to the ground. Does anybody caught in that, you're done. Goodbye. Now let's take a look here at Storm 4's Heaven Concealed. They did a very good job of replicating the look of Madara's jutsu and Susanoo. It definitely looks great, but I would definitely say that I really do like it here. Again, this is my opinion. Now, let's move on to Obito Uchiha. Now, he in this game is nothing more than a defense character. Do I like that? No, but let's take a look at his transportation jutsu. Now, as you saw there, the little swirls, and behind him are the dimensional black spots. What it does is it pretty much negates the effect of one hit. And what that does is it pretty much is like, hey, I put that into Kamui, you know what I mean, so that hit really doesn't affect me. So that's pretty much what that is. Now, do I really like it here? It depends on the type of situation. Now, I also could be using it incorrectly, but I highly doubt that. Anyway, let's take a look at Storm 4's transportation technique. Now, I decided to run this all into one small little vid right here, and because the simple fact of the matter, it's such a short move, and it is a tilt for those that are of Storm 4. We know that a tilt is simply the quick flick of the stick and the circle button, or the B button for those on Xbox. But what it does is it allows the attacker to go right through Obito. Obito has done that many times. Now, let's move on to the next move that Obito has here, which is the Uchiha Flame Formation. This, again, is a defensive type of move where it boosts the defense and attack of your allies so long as the barrier is active on you. But the one thing that negates this whole move is the fact that the moment you get hit once, it goes away. And it kind of shifts me from this move entirely. As you can see here, I took one hit from that giant and it didn't do anything to me.
Wow.
Let's move on to the Shinobi Striker. Now, for Obito Uchiha, this is very different. Now, for the Bomb Blast Dance, as you can see here, it's very vast and wide in the general area. It's beautiful as far as particles and the color and the look of it is concerned. Looks very, very good. Now, if we take a look at the Bomb Blast Dance for Storm 4, this isn't an ultimate. It is a side jutsu. It is a regular jutsu, basic jutsu. As you can see here, boom, go towards them, move to the side, Bomb Blast Dance, boom. Now, as we all know that the Storm 4 effects of elemental damage plays a key factor here. So as you can see, Naruto is taking that fire damage. And so with that, that concludes Obito and Madara. Now let's move on to this verdict. What will I choose, Storm 4 or Shinobi Striker? Now let's go and say that both of these characters did have one move that were not categorized in any anime or manga, and that's the Hiding in Ash Jutsu, and that's the Uchiha Flame Formation Jutsu. I really believe that they could have done better with these jutsus. I think Madara could have had his Dragon Flame Jutsu, his version, and Obito could have had another kind of jutsu that would have been kind of cool. But if I break this all down as far as mechanics, functionability, and how it looks and the way it plays, I'm going to have to give this back to Storm 4 for the simple fact, even though Shinobi Striker tried to replicate it, it was a good try, but I definitely do like Storm 4. I definitely still love the game, even though it's old, even though it's played out, but we do have to understand that even though we don't really like it to its full potential, we still have a huge place for it in our hearts. So with that being said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Don't be afraid to hover and haunt that like button. Subscribe today to become part of the Soul Gang Team Nephilim. Let's get it. Tap that notification bell to know each and every time that I upload. And guys, remember, to be good at the game, you gotta kill with skill. And until our next video.